11 Investigates exclusive. For more than 3 decades, he worked some of the biggest crimes in the city of Pittsburgh. And as he retires from the force, he's telling his story to Chief Investigator Rick Earl. Jimmy McGee started as a patrolman and went on to become one of the most high-profile homicide detectives in the history of Pittsburgh Police. Rick, he really did have a storied career.
Yeah, Alyssa, a remarkable career indeed. He's worked hundreds of cases, many of them high-profile, like the doctor who poisoned his wife. And solving them has been his life's work.
Every arrest I've ever made on a case, I was 100% sure I had the right person.
At any big crime scene in the city of Pittsburgh during the past 3 decades, chances are Jimmy McGee was there.
The guy said the bombs were up here. Definitely said it looked like a MAC-10 machine gun he was loading up.
Quite an accomplishment for a man who never really thought about being a police officer. He grew up in Arlington Heights and served on submarines in the Navy and returned to work at Heinz packaging soup and ketchup. Then in the late 80s, he took the police test, scored well. That launched a remarkable career with Pittsburgh Police that spanned nearly 40 years, the majority as a homicide detective. What was the most satisfying part of your job?
Of course, solving the cases, but I always felt the most satisfying part for me was getting a confession.
McGee has worked some of the biggest cases in the city, including the doctor convicted of poisoning his wife with cyanide.
I always told myself I outsmarted this brilliant doctor, So yeah, he made some mistakes along the way, and we caught them.
And the man who broke into a neighbor's home in East Liberty and shot and killed 2 sisters.
Started digging into the case and found out they'd never missing some debit cards and bank cards, and then we did some search warrants to get information and followed that up and led us right to him.
And a shooting during a robbery at a parking garage that left a man paralyzed. McGee solved the case after tracking down a man seen wearing a Springdale football jacket.
So I went out to Springdale and started talking to the football coach and the principal, asking if anyone fit his description. And they said, yeah, we got this guy, Marty Armstrong.
A skilled interviewer, McGee relied on a calm, friendly demeanor while questioning a suspect.
I've had people, after I got a statement, they confessed to killing someone. They said, hey, you're going to come back down tomorrow and pull me out and talk to me again? And
McGee, whose license plate appropriately reads "Case Closed," says he never let his emotions get in the way, but admits meeting with a victim's family was the toughest part of the job.
But my emotions always seem to rise to the surface when I talk to the families. And that's when it tugged at my heartstrings. Like I said, I meet these people on the worst days of their lives.
McGee says he didn't want to leave the force, but had no choice after reaching the mandatory retirement age of 70. So it was a little bittersweet when you left.
I tell everyone it was more bitter than sweet, but I adjusted and I moved on.
McGee didn't take any time off. He started a new job as a tip staff for an Allegheny County judge, back here at the courthouse where he spent so much time as a detective.
I did the law, and now I'm doing the order.
And that's right, he did the law, and now he's doing the order. McGee tells me he had a lot of help along the way and couldn't have done it without the support from his family and all of his coworkers. Live in the studio this evening, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.